Eczacıbaşı were dealt an early blow to their campaign. They lost away at Olympiacos 18-16. Now that meant they had to bounce back, and their biggest challenge in their group was to play Milano. They beat Milano twice with a Gonu, 15-13 in the fifth set. And what that means is that it set up a semi against Szezovia. In turn, that could have been the Kifbank if they would have come through second with Milano, and all those small things adding up. This is a close one to call. Scandicci have showed us at the Club World Champs what they have. Eczacıbaşı have beaten Milano twice. That is not easy. The crowd making their way in. And I'm sat here wondering if we're going to receive another wonderful light show.
Oh, I would put some money on it.
I hope so. I think that set the tone wonderfully for the game that we just enjoyed. The snacks are out. Scandicci, the only team in this Final Four who have never won the Champions League. And you have to look back at a long time. 1979, they lost to Prague in the final. Selçuk Kagler, the top scorer, all the way back. Before my time. Which, I mean, it must be before your time.
Of course.
And Selçuk is a good friend of mine, so hello Selçuk if you're watching. The calm before the storm. Eczacıbaşı have a 15-27 record in their 42 Champions League matches against Italian sides. The winner is going through to play for Kifbank after their 3-2 win, coming back from 2-0 down. We have already been treated to a spectacular first semi-final. The Kifbank reverse sweeping the tremendous Amoko. A place in the final awaits either Scandicci, the visitors from Italy, or Eczacıbaşı Istanbul. Could it be an all-Turkish final here in Istanbul, or will Scandicci put themselves in the best possible position to do the Club World Championship and the CV Champions League double? Last year, Scandicci had to settle for silver after a perfect Amoko performance, but Amoko will not be challenging for gold this year after winning 2 in a row. Or will it be Eczacıbaşı, who will make their first final since 2023 after a 5th place finish last year underneath the guidance of Giulio Bragoli. A final against the Kifbank awaits that could re-spark an age-old rivalry here in Istanbul. How do you enjoy that one, King
I
Michael?
mean, it's still as good as the first one. Man, volleyball in Turkey is something else, isn't it?
It is something else. Well, Maja Ognjenovic, the first player to be announced, a true legend of this game. And someone you just hope it's her season. Brenda Castillo, part of so many sides, but last year had a great Champions League campaign. She was ever present. Well, Marta Bekis has been to a final before. She's looking for her fourth medal this week. Avery Skinner has never been here before, but she has been superb in the States. And as Keith said, her fast offense will be deadly. Sarah Franklin, also in her first year with Scandicci, won the NCAA with Wisconsin, and Anna Schmeck as well, who will play for the opposition this evening. Manuela Rebecchi, we missed her, formerly of Firenze, but a big future European gold at under 19 level. Bezzetti was in the final four last year with the Kif Bank, a lot of experience. Emma Graziani, second year, she was part of the side last year. And Linda Nwakalo is 8 out of 10 times in the team this year. Antropova has started 7 out of 10, rested earlier on, but she will be the main threat. And Camilla Weitzel has been ever present, played more time in this Champions League than anybody else in her team. Gaspari, he knows what it takes. He's made 2 in a row. He's led this Scandicci side to the top of the world. The question mark is, can he take them to the top of Europe?
I mean, Scandicci have everything to win right here. This is already, both these teams are punching above their weights, right? Neither of these teams finished first in their domestic league, so it's everything to win, everything to gain, and nothing to lose.
2 liberos, Simge Akoz and Ayabuka Erzi out first. Exciting prospect, Dile Özdemir, young setter. He's not been shy, Bragoli, to bring her in. Magdalena Stesiak also announced. Big threat on the right side, played every game. Sinead Jack Kissel is somebody else who's played every game as well. They started with the same team more or less every single game at Eczacıbaşı this season. Someone who's come off the bench every time is Melia Dikan, and we can expect to see her off the bench again. Yapka Erkek is somebody that's improving statistically throughout this competition. Elif Şahin, part of the Turkey side internationally for a long time. She should start as the setter this evening. She played 6 out of 8, but Özdemir, the other setter that could get some action, the youngster this evening. Ladonna Redke, 1 silver medal with Love a gold to go with it. The American, also of Wisconsin. Emily Maglio, her first, or looking for her first final. Been at Yolari and Firenze as well. Ebra Karakut, the last out. And Catherine Plummer-Bowden, the American international VNL winner, Champions League winner with 21 points for Amoko. The Champions League anthem echoes out around Istanbul. The 5th time these two teams have met, nothing between them, 2 wins apiece. I think this is going to be just as tight as the Vakifbank and Amoko first semi. A huge game. Eczacıbaşı up against Scandicci. Key, you were right about Vakifbank. Your gut feeling was on the money. What does your gut say here?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel as though with Antropova, anything is possible if she's having a good day. She can absolutely be the wind for Scandicci, and they feel like the team that are on more of a high at the moment. But having seen that the Turkish team won the first match, I can imagine a crowd absolutely carrying Eczacıbaşı into an all-Turkish final, which would be insane.
Alexander Sikanic, the first referee. Wojciech Grod, the second referee from Poland. The pass will always be key, but with Antropova's serve, you feel like Scandicci can go gung-ho. The question mark is, do the errors creep in? Is there a vulnerability about them at key times? We're about to find out, as it's Brogoli up against Gaspari, Ognjenovic, Yaprak Urkic, Recki and Skinner, the American battle, Nowakalor, Stesiak, two of the best blockers in the competition, Antropova, Karakat. That will be a battle on that left side for Eczacıbaşı. Sinead Jack Kissel has been brilliant. Witzel and Shahin, Castillo and Akoz as the liberos. What did you make of that, Key? And what are your key matchups for this key encounter?
Well, you mentioned Antropova and being on the outside. She is a tall, aggressive swinger, right? So Scandicci are going to use her as much as they can. The question is, do they overuse her? I have to see if, Stesiak's going to be on the right side. There's some smaller pins on the outside for Eczacıbaşı. So the question is, can they slow down Antropova? Can they get hands in front of her? We talked about how good of a blocking team both of them are. Both these teams are averaging more than 3 blocks per set. But Bregoli told me before the match, blocking is the focus. How do they stop Antropova? But that's everybody's question, right?
It is everyone's question, and they're questions that are just about to be answered. Eczacıbaşı's team, Ebru Karakat, has never played on court in a Champions League final. This could be her chance. Simge Akoz starts not preferred at national team level at the moment. Maybe a chance this week to impress Santarelli. Stesiak on the right. Kizel, who's had an incredible Champions League season, in the middle. Their way here has been difficult against Milano, against Rezov. I think that's going to serve them very, very well. But against Scandicci, who have twice needed the golden set, character to get past Fenerbahce, a great team in European volleyball, Fenerbahce. Novara, another great team with the likes of Herbots, who used to play for Scandicci. Brogoli, maybe the biggest test of his career. He knows the likes of Witzel. He knows a lot of the other team from his time. As you said earlier on, Thierry, there's so many stories here, and he's the only man that hasn't been to a Champions League final on the bench. Skinner starting on the outside. No surprise, as their World Club Championship Final 6 was Skinner, Pezzetti, Castillo, Ognjenovic, Nowakalor, Witzel and Antropova. To the outside. And how about that for a start for Skinner? She scored 18 points in that final against Amoko, and that fast offense you spoke about is here.
And that one wasn't as fast as we're going to see from her. That one's out of system, but when it's in system, keep an eye on that ball just being flung in her direction.
Part of that Olympic silver medal winning side with Ogbogo Plummer, Drews, Polter, Wong Orientes, Washington. In very good company there, but
here's the battle, right? Stesiak versus Antropova. Both of them can hit those insane angles, but we saw it in the last match. If you cut off one angle, then it's the cat and mouse game that we're going to see as the match progresses.
And she's maybe just started with one of the toughest angles of them all. Stesiak Nwakalor comes into this now. Nwakalor last year, Graziani was getting more of the court time in Champions League. Then Nwakalor came in. 2 blockers at 5, turns 1. How impressed have you been with Nwakalor throughout this league? You cover a lot of Italian league and also Champions League campaign.
I mean, to be one of the best blockers in Champions League, despite being one of the smaller middle blockers in itself, is impressive. But I've also seen her have some good defensive moves as well.
And there's a block from Jack Kissau, but hold on a moment, that's gone Scandicci's way.
Already they're quickly using the backcourt. That's what I like about this swing. It gets underneath the blocker's arms. Even though there's 3 blockers there, they're not perfectly disciplined because they're beating the ball with speed, beating the blockers with speed.
And the pass is struggling. They stay alive though. Eczacıbaşı, it's not been the perfect start, and Antropova, if you give her a free ball, if she's in rhythm, she will make you pay.
Scrappy moment there, nervy moment as well, giving a free ball to Scandicci, and she loves that inside cross ball. She is all day long going thumb up.
I'm going to throw something out there. There's no better bump setter in the women's game than Ognjenovic, from
Fair.
what I've seen. Puts it on the plate every single time. Reverse, this time to the line. Different angle from Stesiak. This time goes fast, goes to the line. 2 from 2.
Yeah, keep your eyes on this back and forth. Keep your eyes on the change-up, especially there's a seam there in the middle, but she doesn't go for it. She goes hard at the hands of the blocker.
Well, Castillo's under pressure. And after what's been a slow start, Stesiak is showing us what she's made of. 3 points for her already. She scored every single one on the board so far.
And we saw that graphic pop up before the match of the aces that Antropova has. How about another one? Oh, that's close.
Well, Bozzetti and Castillo have a big evening on their hands, because if they want to unlock the middles like they can, and if they want to run Antropova as much as they want to, the pass has to be good. And Skin is also in that conversation too. Antropova! I thought that was out. Karakut knew it was in. It's a huge statement to go after that sideline so early. Karakut not the most nimble.
Yeah, and Karakut, for anyone who follows international volleyball, will know that she's in that outside hitting role because Vargas plays opposite, and that is why teams go after her again and again. 2 aces in a row from Antropova.
Started out as a right side, and earlier on in the program we said that, as an opposite. Now she's as an outside. We said that her pass could be critical. She's under pressure. Antropova is doing what Antropova does.
100% she's going right back at Karakut after that timeout. And look how deep Eczacıbaşı are starting in the court. They're expecting this deep.
And then stepping up, Karakut. She has to go low. It's a fabulous pass. It takes her out the offense. And in that rotation, serving the front court receiver with a backcourt opposite is also smart.
Yeah, that's huge by Karakut to actually step in and pick that up, because that very easily could have been 3 aces in a row.
And if that pass wasn't perfect, they would struggle. Shahin would struggle with options with Karakut to the floor. And it is Ebra Karakut finally there off that Antropova service run. It is Antropova on the long line ball. It's a fabulous set. Ognjenovic finds her perfectly. Antropova, perfect so far.
From all the way on the other side of the court, perfectly places it on a platter, inside as well. She's kind of moving Antropova around where she wants her to.
Thrown to the outside this time. First one off the hands. Long line, fast ball to the stick.
Again, we'll talk about this mismatch all match long. That is exactly what you're going to see. Going off the setter's hands, the setter being the smaller blocker, always a target.
Yeah, Yaprak Erkek improving. 63% efficiency, 12 points against Rezovia. Good games against the likes of Milan as well. Tip over the top, we haven't seen that yet. Weitzel, first year with Scandicci. Through the middle. Ognjenovic, Antropova, cross body this time.
Keep your eyes on Antropova's style. When she's coming in and she's lofting a little bit, floating a little bit to the outside, that's when she likes to change her direction. If she's coming in cross, then she'll go back down the line.
Ognjenovic knows that she's running hot. She's giving her a lot of the ball so far. Erkek again. Not the biggest, but runs quick. She's finding turns off the hands, and she's finding seams.
This is somebody I really love watching because she's so springy. And typically in the world of international volleyball, this is not a size of a player that you see very often, but she uses what she has and gets up and snaps it at the top.
Ognjenovic this time to Skinner on the outside, looking for hands this time and missing out. As this game develops, the game might open up for Skinner if they do overload Antropova on the right.
100%. The balance has to be there. Antropova now in the backcourt. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to her fast.
Call was out, but Skinner's going to have to hit out of rhythm. Castillo. No spike from Antropova. It's coming back through the right side. Stysiak. Unbelievable vision in the block from Scandicci. Seeing the delay in the arm and the timing of the block changing with it. Antropova off the hands. They do get the ball to Kate Antropova. She does seal the deal. Good blocking.
They wanted to get it to her a lot earlier than that, but they just couldn't find it. As soon as that free ball comes in, that is where Nuakalor is so important to run that ball in front. Because it's a free ball, she has to be able to get a one-on-one.
Karakut serves short, trying to maybe pull her out. And the Champions League top blocker puts another one on the board. Erkek is stopped for the first time.
Yaprak at 182 versus almost or over 2 meters. Antropova.
Yeah, she's going to have to keep doing a good job of turning the ball, hitting the seams. This time the pass is in, and Retke, first real big play from her.
And I want to see more. I think she's such an effective middle when she gets going. Tall, strong, has to be part of this offense for Eczacıbaşı to have a shot.
Bozzetti with a very good pass. She's in here. The fast offense you spoke about, there it is. It's lightning. Skinner like a jack in the box.
Have a look at Stysiak here. She's crept in. She's thinking this ball's maybe going pipe. She's maybe staying with the middle. She's not at all paying attention to Skinner, and Skinner makes her pay.
Ognjenovic at the moment having a wonderful game. Good selection, understands when to play the safe ball, understands when to open up everything else. Too many errors probably at the moment from Eczacıbaşı. Skinner of Kentucky, and Baylor comes in to make the defense at 6, but Stysiak again. You enjoyed that one, Key?
Well, Eczacıbaşı were overdue for a point, right? That tip into the net from Karakurt, you can't afford to have 2 errors in a row, and Stysiak kind of felt that pressure going seam and deep into the corner.
Well, here is Retke, 1 point on the board. 2 up in the block. Antropova, it's tight. The cover is there. The referee's blowing the whistle. And there's a lift called as we hear monster block, but the decision's for a lift.
I mean, I'd give that a block as well. The crowd does not care about a lift. They want to celebrate a monster block.
Well, it's a much better matchup. 197 Karakut up against Antropova on that right side. Gives him a fighting chance, but not with the sharp angle. Good feet to the ball and a fast arm.
Look at Castillo as well, taking all the pressure off her hitter. She is a libero with so much class and skill, and that's what you want to see. A libero that makes the lives easier of the players around her.
Well, she was part of the Baku side that took a second in 2013 underneath Marcelo Adam Danza, who's now the Fenerbahce head coach. Goes all the way back to 2013 and still playing at the very top. Stijak is somebody that's going to have to hold this performance together for long periods of time, Keith.
Oh, is that the commentator's curse?
I hang my head in shame here. But you can see what Bregoli's gone for. Yaprak is going to give stability in the pass. She's going to run quick offense, and
sure,
they're going to rely on balls to the middle with Retke. And how good Jack Kissel's been on this slide attack. She's going to get the ball here, and she's going to get shut down this time.
And the most important part of that block for me is that it keeps Antropova on the line. She had a couple of aces already in this set. This time she goes after the middle of the court rather than Karakurt. But there's right on cue a timeout because Bregoli knows exactly what she's going to try and do. I do have to say, having played for Bregoli, he is one of the coaches that will watch so much video. When he comes to a match, he has over-prepared, and he knows every single player's tendencies down to a T. And I mean, he boils that down to a scouting report that's manageable for his players, but you can see how well he knows Antropova. He's saying, look, when that ball is wide, that is the only time you're taking line on her. If it's even a slightly inside, drop that inside arm and cut off the cross. It's that kind of information that's so invaluable.
Absolutely. And they have to try and get off this rotation. That ball's still alive. The referee's given a point. It might bring a challenge. Defensively sound by Scandicci. Let's have a look. It's Skinner that sat in the seam.
Oh, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell from that angle now that I'm seeing it a second time, but I think they would have been a little more aggressive on the challenge if they really believed it.
Spent a year in Russia, Karakut. Now back in her hometown. She's one of the big players in Turkish volleyball, but she's one of the only ones that's really done a world tour playing for different clubs. It's a brilliant bit of defense, a chance in transition. Plummer Bowden shut down. Again, just looks like struggling vertically and working off the hands.
Yeah, I like this change from Bregoli, right? We talked about him needing maybe a little bit more height, and he'll use Bowden as this utility player, but that is a low swing. She's coming a little early. She's on her way down, and that's really the only reason. I mean, Ognjenovic is not a tall blocker, but she'll take her space. If you hit right into her, that's a block.
Yeah, the pass has been shipped a little bit wide. Chance for the American international once again. The cover's going to throw it over, and that's been incredibly well seen. Again, the American. Plummer Bowden on the outside. The physicality is in, and you can see maybe that's not what Yaprak was quite giving on the front court.
And the difference here is the speed of this ball. Look at how quickly it leaves the hands of the setter. Bowden is getting on top of it early rather than chasing it.
Hasn't started a Champions League game this year. Bowden, chance through the right side. Stisiak goes high hands. And it's a good change of angle again. We've seen her hit sharp. We see her go off hands.
And I think the attackers right now of Eczacıbaşı have to continue being disciplined just like that. That is a perfect opportunity. It's basically a free ball from Skinner. Stysiak, she could have got greedy with it and swung down, but instead she continues to go high off the fingertips.
They're chipping away at this. Eczacıbaşı. Antropova, high ball. Jack Kissel with a beautiful dig. Middle's not quite in the team to make defenses like that. Low.
Well, I'm going to have a look at this set as well, because here is exactly what the coach was talking about. That ball, I mean, it's not as wide even as we might have expected, but it's wide enough that she can go that line. So regularly saying she won't, but she'll prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, coming in on an angle, taking the cross court. If that ball drops inside, the hands are there. Ognjenovic, for sure, for me over the years, has worked a lot in out-of-system situations with Serbia to find Boskovic. And I feel like she's one of the best setters in the world to find the right side when the pass isn't quite there. Service back on to Bozzetti. That's she comes from a volleyballing family. Lucia Bozzetti, such a big player in the Italian team, as was Caterina to the outside. Plummer is in. That's 2 kills now. She's finding some flow in her own game.
And the pressure in the serve has stepped up big time from Eczacıbaşı. Out of system, Scandicci is not the same team as an in-system Scandicci.
And that's the way to maybe stop Antropova. The fans are in. There's not many better places to be, Key, is there?
You can't really argue with the fans in Turkey.
Service pressure's gone up. And as we spoke about, if you have Antropova, and you know potentially they're limited if she's not in the game, could be the good way of going about this, keeping the foot on the gas.
100%. This is the moment where Eczacıbaşı have to earn a couple of points. Oh, but they don't.
Bowden at position 1. Ognjenovic probably not given enough credit for how good she is from behind the service line. That ball to 1, flipping it back against the flow to try and lose the middle blocker. It's a great run from Şahin, and that does get Bowden in.
And the other thing is that they kept their opposite on the outside. Stysiak hitting on the pin and Bowden on the right side, so they were kind of just trying to switch some things up, give Scandicci a different look.
Bozzetti with a really early platform. Tip round the corner is a smart one from Skinner.
Yeah, that's nicely placed. We talked about this a lot in the last match, but there's a difference between a tip because you have to and a tip because you see that it's open. I mean, look at the stretch out there. There's no way that ball's coming up, and if it does, there's no setter to play it.
16 points against Fenerbahce in that golden set victory. Had a wonderful game, and she's added again early on. Scandicci up against Stysiak, who is going to Japan next year, to my knowledge. Might be wrong, have been before, will be again. Serve to position 1. Skinner does a really good job of getting that in. However they've run the middle off that serve is very good. Player with the angles of the arms of Skinner. The ball goes Eczacıbaşı's way.
I think there's a touch here, and I think we're going to get a challenge. Scandicci, and especially because it was Bozzetti having a swing, she's one of those tool players. She is a ball control player that if she thinks she got a touch, I believe her.
Yeah, I mean, Bozzetti certainly not in the team to be a top scorer. She's had games of 2 from 8 offensively, 2 from 15 offensively against Bank away. They struggled against Bank in the pool stages, but she gives them so much consistency everywhere else.
Yeah, 100%. One of those players that's just an all-around player.
Another one that's not quite in Velasco's thoughts at the moment for Italy. Middle's been missed. Scandicci look like they're going to take the opening set comfortably here, but if there's one thing we've learnt this evening is that you can never get too carried away. Linda Nwakalo. Ognjenovic has had a fine game so far. Pass is a little off the net. Oh, what a turn that is. And at the moment, you can't see it. The score doesn't really show us, but momentum is coming back slowly with Eczacıbaşı.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, this set may not be going their way, but you want to get it going for the next set at least.
Another set point for Scandicci. Pass has gone astray once more. It's good, fast serve. It's a fast arm from Stysiak straight down that line.
Another ace, and to get an ace on set point for your opponent, the mental toughness it takes is underrated.
Not this time, Scandicci. The world club champions are off to a perfect start here in Istanbul. We've learnt a lot about them this year from a character perspective, having come through the golden set twice. That's a very good, consistent start.
Yeah, they didn't look pressed at any point. Scandicci sort of took the control from the beginning and just held on to it the entire match. I didn't see Antropova really struggle, and we know that when she's having a good match, Scandicci are having a good match. I also don't think she was overused. I think this, I mean, we're here to look at the setter.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, there's the setter distribution, and maybe the middle could use a little bit more, but it's actually the left side that are getting more balls than Antropova, and that's a good sign because as the match progresses, as things get tougher and you're in more difficult spots, that's when Scandicci are going to rely on Antropova to get them out of it.
Absolutely. Skinner's had a wonderful start to this game. We said scored, was impressive at the World Club Championships. I don't think there's any situation that's too much for Skinner in her young career, and what's her first Champions League final for. The home fans want a little bit more as we dive into the stats a little bit here. Key, what sort of shows for you?
Yeah, well, you mentioned Skinner. She's got 5 points to Antropova's 6, so there's the balance that we're looking at. I'm only seeing 1 kill through the middle. Whether it's Weitzel or Nwakalo is the only one that has 1. I would love to see some more middle coming on both sides, really. But Eczacıbaşı on the other side, Stysiak's kind of carrying all the momentum with 8 and nobody else with more than 2 points.
Yeah, they need the middle running. Retke and Jack Kissel are big players in this game. The pass has to go up a notch as well. Pezzetti, that experience of playing in Turkey last year with Bank, taking 4th with Guidetti. But Skinner has been strong on that left side. Ognjenovic, for me, is a key player, and I think she's run this game really well. Knows when to run the long ball, knows when to keep it to Antropova. 25-20, the opening set here.
Well, you mentioned Ognjenovic having experience. Her first Champions League appearance was in 2002.
Where were you in 2002?
Oh, in my bed sleeping, I don't know, but
yeah.
She's that kind of experience is what will carry you into big matches like this, and you know, you have to work smarter, not harder once you get to that stage in your career.
I was still at school. Stysiak, as you said, doing a lot of the heavy lifting so far. Antropova, if it isn't Antropova, Stysiak shoot off. My money's on Scandicci this evening. Change of ends, Scandicci in the driver's seat, comfortable after the opening set. Brigoli in his first Final Four has more questions probably than answers at the moment. Karakut hasn't started the way that she would have liked to either.
Yeah, Karakut, we mentioned her a little bit in the open. She's one of those players that she can be so hot, but also so cold. And right now she has 0 points in attack. She's hitting 0. She's had only 2 attempts, so it's not as if she's had big numbers to go from, but you have to have her firing. She's such a big piece of this offensive pie for Eczacıbaşı.
And overall, she's at 50% for the season. And I think that would be good enough this evening to give them a real fighting chance. Ognjenovic starts us second set, CEV Zeren Group Champions League. Semi-final, Karakut put one on the board, Ebra.
There it is. We asked for it, and she delivers. And I have a feeling that's probably exactly what Coach Bregerly was speaking about in the timeout in between those sets, is he has to have something going from the outside, even especially when the setter's moving that way, because the blockers were hesitant to go with her.
Twice Champions League champion without getting on the court in 2017 with Özbay Zhu Ting, Milena Rasic. She is still very much at the start of her career now. She's a big player in this country. Stysiak on that side is Doug. Castillo, that's tight. Antropova's going to be at full stretch here. The cover is absolutely incredible from Ognjenovic yet again. 2 from 2, turning it back, Ebra Karakut. Now, when she's like this, we have a game on our hands.
And this is how I love to watch Karakut play. I spoke to her actually a couple of days ago, and somebody had asked, well, how is she so crazy on the court but so sweet off of it? She said, I'm actually trying to be sweeter on the court, but I don't think this is the moment to be sweet. This is the moment to absolutely put your foot on the neck.
And they started to put their foot on their neck with the service pressure. Key, you spoke about the service pressure increasing through that first set. It's carried on.
You have to. Look at this ball. There is 0 spin on it. Reke, taking the ball from such a high platform as well, because she's such a tall attacker, can get that downward trajectory.
Castillo over that left shoulder, takes it early. It's a really early platform. Karakut, free ball. Castillo just tries to swipe one in. Antropova to the line. It's well defended, but it's too tight for Shahin.
That rally started with the tip from Antropova, which I thought was absolutely butter, just behind the block. This one right here, and I mean, Stysiak, to be able to get that up, but I talk about this a lot, the tips are not necessarily about scoring the point immediately, they're about getting someone out of the offense.
Absolutely, building through the rally. Not this time, Stysiak. And they've come out a different team. They're clean in their touch. They're making defensive plays.
Stysiak loving that cross court as well. She's had a lot of success there already.
Yeah, she's also got so much range that she can go to the line. Castillo again just absorbs that one. It's fast to the outside, the quick tempo that we know they're going to try and play at, and Bazzetti just fires up the arm. We're not saying that blockers are slow. We're saying that offenses and arms are fast.
In this slow motion, I was watching Bregerly all day long on the sidelines fall to his knees, because he is such... I love the Italians, how expressive they are.
Yeah.
They are living and breathing volleyball, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. Gets it on the front court. Might go round on the slide here. She does go on the slide, and she looks to go fast off the hands. Smart play, dragging the block, Bosch.
And we called this a couple of moments ago. We said we have to see more middle, right? From both sides, but specifically from Eczacıbaşı. And someone like Jakisal, who's been elite offensively all season long, you got to get her firing. Even if she didn't have success in the first couple of points, don't go away from her.
Well, she's averaging over 10 points a game. She scored 15 in some, 16 in others. And for a middle, that's an unbelievable return at Champions League level. Karakut, Skinner's there, just manages to get her arms on the ball. And off the hands this time. What I love about Stysiak at the moment, we're seeing the crossbody, then we're seeing the line ball. We're seeing a lot of change of direction.
We see a little bit of everything, and especially a ball like that that's a free ball. This had to be Eczacıbaşı's ball to win, and I love that they're switching it up with the backcourt when all the blockers are one-on-one with the front court attackers.
Absolutely, and I love the slide attack with the 10 ball coming on the inside to try and hit the seam. Width on the front court, inside set from the backcourt right. And now, Mr. Gaspari. The ball is in your court, sir. Witzel's had a very quiet game so far. The home fans have something to cheer about. But I just cannot believe that they've waited this long for success. It's been over 10 years since a Champions League win. They haven't had a league win since 2012. They've won it 28 times. Even with the likes of Boskovic and Karakuc, Diziak, Fenerbahce, Vakifbank have had the lion's share of success here in Turkey.
Feels like Eczacıbaşı is overdue.
It's their time at some point soon, surely. Antropova, this is a problematic rotation for the Istanbul side. Antropova putting herself on the floor. It's outstanding work defensively for somebody so high and so athletic, but fast arm. Yaprak puts it away.
Yeah, I think she got a little bit of a touch there. Antropova waving off. Oh, Eczacıbaşı was backcourt, so it couldn't have been her. There will be a challenge because Ognjenovic does not think she got a touch.
Well, let's have a look. There must be a lot of trust from Gaspari into Witzel. Just 23 years of age. It's her first year. Graziani was here last year. It just shows how promising the future is for the German middle. Are you impressed with what you've seen from her this year?
I love watching Witzel. She's one of my favorite blockers to watch, not only in the Champions League, at VNLs as well, because she's one of those players that looks comfortable even though she's a taller middle, and typically middles of her size are going to be a little bit more awkward, I think is the word that I'm looking for, but she's a fluid player even with her height.
Well, she keeps Emma Graziani out of the side, who's the same age at 23, but she signed from Firenze. She's had a couple of really good seasons, the Italian, from Club Italia, which is where they're all built, these young, incredible Italian athletes. Is there a touch is the question.
You know what? I don't know. Ognjenovic was arguing no, but it looks like there's a little bit of arm movement. It's hard to tell.
The decision has gone Scandicci's way. We took the opening set, but now trail by 5. Antropova is back behind the service line. 30 points last time out against Fenerbahce. 7 aces, 6 aces the game before that. She is renowned as the best server in the world.
Antropova or Fedorceva?
Both. You'd like both.
I'd give it Fedorceva. Although I have been asking a lot of professional players recently who they think who they think the best server is, and her name has come up many a time.
Antropova. 3 in the pass. She's hit both sidelines, and she goes after that sideline at 5 again, and it does draw a tough pass. Witzel is there, and from a passing perspective, that is such a difficult ball to get your arms on.
And from a blocking perspective, that is not who you want to go up against. I'm looking at Witzel here. She sees that coming a mile away, and she's got the advantage because she gets it up early and pushes on it with her shoulders.
The ball comes onto the platform so quick, the arms have to be faster. That is shoveled in. Jack Kissel on the back. Antropova's out this time. It just needs something calm. And it is calm from Bazzetti. Fast feet high off the hands. Skinner just stepping in with a very shrewd set. High inside. It gives a high hand option to Bazzetti. Timeout taken.
Well, the timeout's in English, but I feel like I always have to explain what Italian coaches mean when they say don't close the shot, because it's not something we use in English, but it basically means non chiudere. It means don't swing down into the block, and it's great advice when you have the likes of Weitzel in front of you.
And this is what Antropova can do for Scandicci. It's a good timeout in the end because it draws the error, but we saw it against Fenerbahce. She can bring deficits back very quickly. But the good news for Eczacıbaşı is that she's at position 1 now and they don't have to worry about her serve for a while. Jack Gesell with the serve, now part of the Turkish team. That's put it dead in the floor. How do you like that one, Key Michael?
Oh, I like it a lot. I love it, in fact, because look at how quick that ball is. And Weitzel's kind of been waiting. She's been chomping at the bit for her chance to do that. We were talking her up, hyping her up, because that's what I saw all summer long with Germany.
Karakut starting very high on that one, then tracking it back. Sweeping up at 6 is Bazzetti. There's a wide play to the outside. Skinner does well to get off the net and drive her feet to the ball from the inside. Stysiak gets the rub of the green this time. You feel like Eczacıbaşı needed it.
Yeah, Scandicci, we're getting a little too comfortable there. And this again, from out of system, from the set off the court to find that coffin corner. I mean, by an inch.
It's a game of inches all the time. Antropova, oh, big play. And Antropova has just sent another big message. Simgeakoz. Crash helmets on.
I feel like every time she swings line, she's sending a message, because exactly what we talked about earlier, coaches are blocking her cross. They're trying to bait her into swinging that direction.
Karakut, the target short, trying to speed up. Yaplak gets one off the hands, and she's been very quick. You talk about the last 2 steps to the ball. She is lightning with those.
She has to be, right? Her physicality is not the same as some of the attackers out there, but she's using it to her advantage. She can just pop up out of nowhere, and the blocking time sometimes can be a little bit off.
2 tracking it. Skinner's out the offense. Ognjenovic knows it. Goes back to Antropova. We saw the line. Now the crossbody's back.
You can tell the block is trying to adjust on her as well. Have a look at Karakurt here. She takes the step, and then she goes even further out. She's almost reaching outside of her body, opens up a wide open seam, and Antropova knows it.
Blockers have to be patient here this evening, because they're certainly not going to make 7, 8, 9 blocks with an Antropova, but you've got to keep going and make sure you're in the right place.
And in addition to that patience in the block, here's some patience in the offense, right? If you see that there are 4 big hands in front of you, I love that play by Karakurt. She has evolved over the last few years to add that to her repertoire. That was not there 4 or 5 years ago.
It's unbelievable how she's taken on every challenge to go from right side to left side and pass and embrace it. It really does give Turkey another option. Noakalor, who was part of the World Under-21 Italian team that beat Serbia in 2021. Graziani was in that team too. Skinner this time misses out from the service line. Scandicci really have got a little bit of momentum, although they're 2 down. Stysiak, we know that she can cause issues. Another misserve though. Feel that Eczacibasi's good start has just slowed down.
Yeah, those aces are turning into errors.
They have the likes of Emily Maglio on the bench, Anna Schmeck, Emilia Dikan that we've already seen, Delay, Özdemir, to name a few, and they've had made a fair share of, or their fair share of changes, but Karakut is starting to get on a little bit of a heater.
This is what we've been asking for. She was so quiet in the first set, and you cannot have an Eczacıbaşı with a quiet Karakurt. Out of system, she's been so good, and it's not about putting a ball away when everything is perfect. It's about how do you handle these moments.
And that is the main temptation to have her as a four-hitter because she is capable of doing that at the height that she is. It's just maintaining the whole game in the pass. Antropova goes back. So accurate. To anyone watching it, she's not trying to hit that ball too hard.
Yeah, now it starts being punch for punch, opposite for opposite. This is more like what we were kind of expecting when we, at the opening of this match, Stysiak versus Antropova.
Big out-of-system rips. It's that time of the day again. Antropova fires it. It's a wonderful pass. And that's a big, big play. Jack Casal, who played for Trinidad and Tobago for so long.
I'm looking at this substitution that Bregoli made just before Antropova serving. Puts in Dicken, he's stabilized the reception, and immediately they get her off the line. They do not bleed any points on her rotation.
There are moments in a game that mean more than others, and getting Antropova off of the service line is one of them, but you can't keep her quiet with an offensive play like that. Oh, hello.
Look at the squish factor.
Every year.
I know. Technology, technology.
Production just gets better and better. Bazzetti. Dican again with a perfect pass. It's a great substitution, and you're right to call it. But this time, it's the angle block from Skinner on the left side.
That is what Bregoli meant when he said don't close the shot. Stysiak getting a little greedy. She sees the one-on-one. She brings it down to mere mortal level. She can reach the top of the antenna. She needs to be hitting up there.
Oh, now the pass has gone. They've got back all square. And remember, at the start of this set, 4-5 points was the lead for Eczacıbaşı. Scandicci have just crept up on this. And you just feel that sometimes that ball just does drop inside on that right side as well. But to the outside, you know exactly what they're trying to do. Speed up off the hands. Pass as well. Then Antropova.
Oh! I felt that in my bones.
Imagine being Simgai Koz here. Right, we're just going to block angle on Antropova.
And we're going to have you take everything else.
Yeah, good luck. You're going to have everything else.
Here's your helmet.
And she's sat in the right position, close to the block, giving her the sideline because we don't see so much off-body from Antropova. Unless she comes in on an angle, then she has got it. But, oh! Face shot!
That ball looked like it was going out and she just couldn't get out of the way in time.
Well, she's been dishing it out.
I know.
And now she has to take a little bit on the chin. Oh my days, let's hope she's okay.
When her coach said take out Antropova, I think they meant defensively, not literally sniper her.
In some games, that would be worth double points, but not in this one.
In India.
Yeah. That could be a new rule for next year.
Yeah.
In system. Koz is there through the middle, red key. Good cover. They are very much working hard for each other. That's an unbelievable touch from Castillo. Potentially touch of the game. Shifts to the right-hand side with her feet. Has to launch herself back left. Makes the defense.
And especially after what's just happened to Antropova, you have to capitalize on any inch of momentum that you're getting right now if you're Eczacıbaşı.
First it's the pancake. Second of all, it's the play to the left. It's outrageously good. And the platform's great from Bazzetti. That's exactly what she's in this team for. If you look at the offensive stats, as we said before, not overly high, but in those moments, the pass is perfection. A nice wide base, good arms. Antropova's in, high off Karakut. Ognjenovic loves that ball to position one. Well answered. It's on the inside this time, and running through the inside, potentially losing a bit of rhythm. Stysiak wants the decision.
Yeah, she's going to want a challenge on that. I don't know if this is clutching at straws, but she looks as though she fully believes it. Gaspari with a laugh over there. He's saying, yeah, go on, give it to her. Oh, he likes to see his opponents get a little hyped up, though.
Yeah. He wants to give them the chance to call the challenge.
Yeah.
I've got time for that.
I like the little mental games going on the court here.
They could do with a block with Jack Kissel on the front, Karakut on the front, and Stizak. It's a big front row for Eczacıbaşı. Skinner has to try and work away over top. Nobody's home, and somebody has to be home. It's good enough from Skinner, but those moments might just be the death of Eczacıbaşı this evening.
That was not a tip purposefully. That was I'm in trouble, I just got to put it over, and it's up. Where's the second touch?
Yeah, Stizak had released a hit, and she released a hit again, and this time it's a dart into the angle.
We have seen Stizak hit a couple down, but I'm loving the way she's playing tonight. She has a mission. She is on a mission to prove something, especially that swing. She perfectly saw the vision. The two blockers were floating. She just slices it inside.
Here comes Dele Özdemir, MVP at the European Championships under 20 level. Best setter as Turkey beat Italy. Serve to one has been effective. It puts the pressure maybe on the Wakalor and Key. Is there a difference for you as a middle player when the ball comes from one than 6 or 5?
100%. If it's coming over your shoulder, she's coming from the left side and the ball's coming from the right. She has all the vision there. If she has to cross the plane of the ball, if she's right side and the ball is in front of her, it is so difficult to get around.
She didn't have position 5 open, but she made a very good swing to go high off the block there. No Akalor out of system. Defense ready. Defense not quite ready because that's outrageously good feet from Karakut, who then gives a hug. We could all do with one of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened here. Did Shimga get an elbow in the face?
Can everyone please stop getting injured?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's a Karakut
okay.
elbow to the face. I mean, Karakut did well to keep playing and make sure she got the point for her teammate that she's just bamboozled.
It's difficult because Nowakalor's facing so much into that seam that they have to protect that seam at all costs. And in the end, you have two people going for the same ball, so to speak. Well tracked. Might just look like 11 from Stranger Things for a moment.
Who did? Oh.
Ognjenovic to the middle. Weitzel, she's growing into this game more and more.
And I like seeing Scandicci utilizing her. That speed is impossible unless Sinead Jakisawa was in front of her and commit blocking. There's no chance.
Yep. And Ognjenovic again. I'm going to keep giving her plaudits. It's an ace from Antropova. But Ognjenovic, decision-making wise, has been tremendous.
Scandicci needed that. They needed an ace serve. This is what Antropova has been doing so well. And again, right on cue. Coach Bregoli knows that this worked last time. Ice her.
Yeah, and in his game plan, he would certainly be saying, I need these timeouts for Antropova's serve.
So the onus now, first of all, is Antropova to get this ball in. But second of all, we've heard a little bit of strategy here now. Bregoli is saying, all right, they've proven they're going to run their middle, so every once in a while you will see a commit block on Weitzel.
Biggest play of this game so far. Antropova does get the ball in. Yaprak's done well to get her arms behind it and to absorb it. Castillo, it's in again. Antropova's getting a lot of the ball. They're staying defiant here Eczacıbaşı, but they need to try and counter themselves. Yap crack off the top of the hands again. Skinner with a free ball. One of the best rallies of this game. Sinead Jack Kissel on the wider ball to the middle. Scores. Big point. Big point.
Oh, that had to feel good. And especially in middle, she's been jumping 1, 2, 3 times in a row. Finally gets a chance to go again. A free ball, no less. Gets open, pushes that ball on the gap. She knows she's got vital reaching.
Now a chance to serve. After Skinner. Skinner, fine job. Gets the ball in. Bassetti just goes with a tip. We've seen that work again. Bowden has made 4 or 5 really shrewd decisions. Hasn't got any angles. Stays high. Gets it quick.
And here's that tip again, right? That was the ball that dropped last time. This time it doesn't. That's a big signal for Eczacıbaşı. Well, it feels as though Eczacıbaşı has the momentum right now. 2 points up, playing their level finally. That balance. They don't even have Stesiak on the court right now, and she was their top scorer in the first set. They just have to capitalize it, hold on.
Again, you can't bet against a team that have won in 5 against Milano, 15-13, twice in a season, with the side that they have. Big believer that when the going gets tough, they get going. And now it's a 3-point lead. She's had a remarkable season. Sinead Jack Kissel.
Watch the bottom just drop out of this ball. You can see it from the sideline. First of all, it's seen between 2 players, and then it just absolutely disappears from the air.
Castillos, you feel like she's going to try and take more, but she's at 1. The ball goes to 6. It's an inside 10 attack. And Antropova goes off the hands. Bowden thinks she's got it. Antropova's not arguing. Made a big difference here.
Again, the aggressive serve, making Skinner come up, gets those blockers in a really good position for a stuff.
Set point, and the crowd have come alive. Eczacıbaşı serving. The pass has gone from Scandicci for the time being. Antropova off hands. Caracuts there. Bowden, she's been incredible. She goes high, and now the team in orange is celebrating and the fans are on their feet. Eczacıbaşı, who haven't had much to shout about for 10 years, are on the front foot.
This is the Eczacıbaşı we were expecting to show up in this match, and finally they're showing what they can do. Scandicci were so aggressive coming out the gates in the first set, but this is what we were expecting from a response. In the first couple of points, we knew this was going to be a very different looking set.
Key Michael.
Yes.
Oh, we go into 5 again.
Oh,
we go the whole way.
Let's do it.
Well, there are the statistics. 27-22 spikes. Couple of aces each, 3 blocks to 1. Okay.
What's interesting to me is that 1 block on Eczacıbaşı's side, but you look at the stats, they don't tell the whole story because that 1 block is what ended the set.
But the Scandicci passing accuracy, you need it in the green and the blue.
40% of those balls, all those white ones over there, 40% are outside of that circle. And, you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. If you're a volleyball player, you know the target is that inside zone, and anywhere beyond that, it just gets harder and harder to run an offense.
25-20, 25-20, 1 set apiece. We've had a wonderful evening. Vakif Bank have made their way in that inside 10 from Stesiak's trouble because Bassetti's looking at the slide attack and then she gets beaten inside. Yaprak with some good moments, but I feel like Bowden coming off the bench was a massive player. 2 or 3 very experienced swings, not trying to do too much at the end, just hitting a high percentage swing well. Whether she's going to start or not, I don't know, but she's certainly playing a big role.
And that's the value of having some bench players that can come in and do a job. You don't want to rely only on your starters, and you mentioned it. Eczacıbaşı are one of these teams that have pretty much kept their same squad intact all season long. They haven't really had to go to the bench, or maybe they haven't been able to. But today, they're using some really strategic substitutions that are paying off.
Certainly are. They all have a role to play that they've been building for the whole season. Scandicci back on the right of your screen. You can join the conversation online. Hashtag Final Four Istanbul. It's a long one today, Keith.
Final Four Istanbul. That's what I was looking for earlier. I was hashtag CL Volley W all morning.
Great shout. You spoke about Melia Dikan coming off the bench with some very good passes as well. It's her first season here from Fenerbahce. She was there for a long time, a 5-time Turkish League winner, and somebody that was part of the All-Stars at the Kim Jong-kun event that she runs right on cue. There she is, 2-time medalist with Turkey. A lot of these players have played internationally. And Antropova, we hope, is feeling better. Rocco Sikoric, president of the CEV there, former Berlin man as well, doing a fine job.
It's interesting that Stesiak got pulled off there at the end because she's hitting over 50%. Top scorer for her side with 13 points. Maybe a little less efficiency than the first set, but I like her.
You talk about Brogoli being organised. Maybe there's just one rotation where they struggle, or maybe the thought process is so detailed that he's not going to bring her out for the wide sort of proportion of the game.
Yeah.
But if he can bring in a Bowden who can make a couple of real astute swings, you never know. It sounds like he's a man who pays attention to the details.
He certainly does. And if you've got weapons on your bench, absolutely use them to your disposal. And Bowden's one of those big swingers. She came in, did a really good job of being aggressive and swinging high. Again, going for the fingertips, looking for those big guns. I like the way that Eczacıbaşı came out with confidence in that set as well. You could imagine a world in which they lost the first set, they were a little bit downtrodden, didn't come out with all their gusto in the second set. But hey, again, we mentioned this is nothing but positive for Eczacıbaşı. They don't have anything to lose.
For volleyball fans at home, there's only been 4 attack errors from both teams all evening. And something that always I find absolutely outstanding is the lack of attacking errors. Yes, it's not been a perfect game by anyone, but the level incredibly high. Antropova, with the power that she plays at, has hardly made. Oh, hello.
Is that Dana Retke's face?
Has anyone ever heard of Key Michael? Sure, no?
Nobody needs that in their life.
No.
I want to get one of these guys. This is the CEV mascot.
Yeah.
Does he have a name?
Ace.
Oh, Ace. Get Ace's face.
Well, I wonder
how that fan was feeling.
How that fan feels.
He's got a little bit of hope left in him for Scandicci, for an Italian in the final.
I imagine that most Amoco fans feel like they've been dragged through a hedge backwards this evening.
Yeah.
7 points each, 68% attack for Karakut. And that's coming from somebody, we haven't spoke about this yet, but didn't score in that first set. But since then, 60%, 6 from 10. That's a different game she's playing now, Ebru Karakut.
Yeah, she seemed to just turn it on, didn't she? There was a moment there where it felt like she hadn't arrived yet in the game. In the first set, we were asking, where is it going to be? And then all of a sudden, you know, the heart on the sleeve kind of player that she is, you saw everything in that second set that she had tried to do in the first, finally was paying off.
And I guess Brogoli would be crossing his fingers and toes that tonight's a night where she really does just fly.
Yeah.
Well, no commit block there for Vaitsala. She's not stopped.
Vaitsala, another player that we asked for more from in that last set. We got it. Starting off strong with her.
Scandicci, this time it's a bit of a dipper on Akos.
Vaitsala is traditionally one of the best servers in the Italian league, and this is why she can take that ball so high. It's very similar to Dana Retke's serve. They go up at the peak of their attack, and it's so flat when they contact.
Yeah, it's a low toss. It's a real stiff arm. It's a quick contact, and it drops for Stesiak. Again, not really one of the biggest jumpers. Doesn't need to be. Just needs to go find it, control the shoulder, and turn it.
Again, one-on-one, she's got Skinner reaching to the outside. That's always dangerous.
Again, Skinner's not in a bad position there. She's just being done on height, really. So patience, again, could be a big thing, that if that ball drops, as you said earlier on, that might be her time to close.
Antropova caught reaching for her own ball. This looked like it was going to go out. Gets the touch, comes off the block. Could have just left it.
And that's
Karakurt loves it.
But that's the Ebra Karakurt that's going to make Brogoli really happy. Out of rhythm, no middle, it's quick to the outside. Skinner not quite on the same page as Ognjenovic. There's 3 in the block though, and Ognjenovic is really organised. Castillo's going to jump in and take this second ball. Again, that set's not quite there for Skinner. That's 2 balls in succession where she's having to work hard to get the ball over.
And again, Brogoli giving us a show on the sidelines. A couple of kangaroo hops over there.
Had to go with the left in the end. Works off the body. Skinner again is it's a real difficult one to pass that because the ball's turned. But they side out through Antropova. They stay resilient. And if they're in trouble, you just chuck it to Kate Antropova.
Classic. Out of system opposite, high ball. And it wasn't that far out of system, to be honest, but she got on top of it so quickly. And again, she's been moving the blockers back and forth. She's taking a little more line every time and getting them reaching.
To say, I've got to give some credit to Skinner for getting her arms on that ball. It was a good serve from Reki as Ognjenovic squares up lovely to position 4 and then flips it back to position 2. Ognjenovic in these situations is a class act.
And again, keep your eyes on how often Antropova starts getting the ball in these clutch moments. Now that it's 1-1, now the pressure starts to go back on Scandicci, you'll see her attacking a lot more.
Carrick at the target, straight down the line, the angle block and the angle swing. Stesiak knows what she wants and she knows what she's got and she's going to get it.
She has been painting the lines tonight.
For me, there's nothing more impressive than setting up how you want to set up and still getting beat. It has to be good to beat the block. You know, like cross-court block, okay, I'll go to the sideline and beat you, no problem. Noakalor's beaten this time. Jack Kissel makes a commitment block.
That's the one we were talking about. We heard in the timeout just 5 minutes ago, Brogoli saying, all right, every once in a while, let's go commit block on someone.
Pass is a little bit out of rhythm. No, Noakalor is to the outside. Antropova can't put it away. Skinner's on the right, and Karakurt makes an uncharacteristic mistake. Tipping away from the body is like hitting away from the body. It's not so natural. It's hard.
I like the idea there. I think she recognized that the blocker's in a good position, and if she had tipped, it would have been on Antropova.
Pass is perfect. Kissel. Speed in the block. Speed in the set, sorry. From Shahin.
Noakalor. She was baited to jump.
Again, that's why passing to the net is such a key concept. It attracts the blockers really early. You can play with more speed to the outside. Chest dig. Skinner. Better. And Ognjenovic again. I am going to start a fan club. Probably already have. Round the ball. It's a work of art, isn't it?
Lewie can't help himself but analyze the game.
Haven't got any other bone in my body. Him. It is. This time, the Karakut. Tip over the top. Another serve to position 1. Karakut does well. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to get off this rotation.
And we haven't seen the setters, either of them, really be offensive in a little while. And I love this one in particular because it's 2 hands up. A lot of times setters will give it away, young setters in particular. If you go 2 hands up, there's no chance the blockers know that's coming over.
Yeah, kiss out. Back to position 5 she goes. That one's tied.
This was the same problem we saw from Vakifbank. Or excuse me, from, was it Konadiano or Vakifbank? I think it was Vakifbank. They were passing a little too tight, especially when the setter's backcourt. You gotta give her a couple of inches off.
Skinner has been fed a lot of the ball, and she's done a good job for the most part receiving Stysiak. They stay alive here. They're going to have to hit their way out of trouble. Antropova, look at Gaspari. Fist-clenching celebrations. Lemons to lemonade for Scandicci.
It doesn't seem to matter where you put the ball for Antropova. She has been so good tonight at getting her feet underneath the ball. If it's wide, she goes that way. If it's inside, she's there too.
This is the rotation. Antropova. The same crowd booing and hissing potentially will be cheering her name next year. In the last set, they got off this rotation quite fast. They're off this rotation quite quickly again.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? In the first set, she was getting a couple of points in a row. Bleeding some points were Eczacıbaşı, but not this time.
Passes off. Castillo just runs on in and finds Antropova. A lot of authority and confidence from Castillo, but the quality to match it.
Yeah, running bump set. Not in a good position, but has body control to make sure that she betters the ball.
Yeah, Castillo played every game in last year's Champions League. She's playing the majority of this season as well. Stysiak. The battle between Stysiak and Antropova is a very interesting one. Turning back, Yaprak is back.
Yaprak is back.
On attack.
Especially against 2 blockers. She does not have the advantage there. Because the setter has moved forward, Weitzel's already followed her.
The early platform from Skinner. It's really nice to watch how early the arms are out, directing that ball as high rip angle. Stysiak has been very impressive. We saw her miss the one where she tried to tweak it back, but not this one.
Defense is going off for Eczacıbaşı as well. That ball could easily have been a kill from Weitzel. Instead, it's recycled, it's replayed. Those transition plays are what make Eczacıbaşı so good right now.
Passes off. They have to go to Skinner. Ognjenovic's hands forced, and again, where are we going here? Hang on a minute.
Well, the rule is if the ball goes over outside the net, you play it back outside the net, then it can cross inside. The question is if it crossed inside on the first instance. That's why the whistle was blown immediately.
Regardless, the reactions for Stysiak are unreal.
100%.
Oh, not again. We can't deal with any more Antropova face shots.
Leave her alone. I mean, I can understand why. Anyone on the court is trying to make it as difficult as possible for her to feel comfortable. Ooh, killer eyes.
Well, Antropova's in a battle for that Italian spot with Agonu. Castillo's underneath it, good cover again. She really hasn't done much wrong, Castillo. They can load again through the outside. Karakurt! Did they seal the line well enough, Scandicci? It doesn't matter. Karakurt finds a way past an out of rhythm situation.
And this is such a good rotation for Eczacıbaşı. Look who's blocking front court. Ognjanovic, the smaller of the attackers, and then Antropova playing defense behind her. That has to be a couple of points for Eczacıbaşı.
Well, Scandicci have lost 4 matches and conceded 14 sets in this year's campaign. And they're still there or thereabouts. But there's something about this team under Brigoli at Eczacıbaşı. I feel like they've got a real backbone about them. And we've seen it time and time again, but I think we're seeing it now, that they can withhold pressure and push back.
And you'll notice this, he's the style of coach that he likes to empower his players to play their best volleyball. He will always be encouraging. He's also just a cool guy off the court. I mean, all of the things you want in a coach, you've got in Brigoli.
Well, you know better than most that and whatever he's done at Chieri, he did a fantastic job. 3 European finals. He's looking for his first Champions League final here. And with some big signings on the way, he's certainly moulding this squad. And the errors are coming. Skinner this time, and Scandicci, we're seeing their level go up and down here. Their best is very good.
And that's kind of what we were expecting of Eczacıbaşı. We were talking about Karakurt being one of those up and down players and expecting a bit more consistency from Scandicci. But again, if they're not able to rely on Antropova for the point scoring, the balance is not there right now.
But Antropova's at 5. It's a difficult rotation to get her in. There's a lot of work off the ball that she needs to do to get there. And that's the spot she needs to get to. But running from 5, it's a lot of work you have to do.
Yeah, she does really well to get there in enough time for a full approach. She's not rushing to try and get to the ball.
Antropova on the front court now. Karakurt on the front. That is shaped away from the body superbly. Karakurt, well, someone lit a match in the second set.
Look at the thumb down, wrist away. Again, I'm always talking about how she's improved over the years, because she used to be a see-ball, hit-ball kind of player. And now she is working angles and shots and tips, and you can see that finesse in her.
You certainly can, and especially off that slow ball, you need that wrist away.
Ooh.
And this is what we're saying about Eczacıbaşı here. They've got that dog in them at the moment. They are unrelenting here after losing the first set.
That is an incredible play. Off the block, off the net, and still going aggressive in the attack.
Off of Laziani, second timeout. Scandicci are struggling here for the last 2 sets.
Stress is emanating from Gasperi right now, and I'm feeling it if I'm his team.
That certainly does transfer over stress. Something you felt as a player?
100%. If your coach is calm and he's giving you tactical pieces of advice, if he's just yelling about what you're not doing, then that's what you're focusing on.
Ball's in. That's way better. And that allows them to spread the offense to the outside. And Franklin is somebody off the bench that could be that game changer.
She's going to have to be. Scandicci right now are trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat to even come back in this set.
Well, she played at Madison in the USA with Annie Drews, Carlini, underneath the guidance of Matthew Furbringer, who's now the head coach. He took a 5th last year, but it's a big move to come straight to a top team in Europe. And she settled in lovely. Another one off the head.
Players are just taking aim at this point.
Did Brogoli do that with you in practice? Just put heads out?
Firing squad, yeah.
Just fire at the heads. I mean, also you can be said that they're really good, deep, accurate swings.
100%. And especially if they get a little touch on the block, that's what he wants out of his team. Both these coaches are asking their teams to swing higher and deeper, especially when they're big blockers in the front court.
Nobody likes playing defense above their waist.
No. I don't like playing defense anywhere.
Yeah. I don't like moving. That one's out the back from Graziani. I think that's a sign that Witzel's coming back in the game. Kissel. That's moved in another bump set. It's fast, and Antropova misses out on the line this time. We don't see much of the wrist away. That is out. Just.
That to me is a huge sign, because that's exactly what Bregaley's been trying to do. Force her to go more and more line. That's not her comfortable position.
Jack Kissel. Off the top of the net, band. And I think that's enough. I think that Eczacibasi now 2-1 up from 1-0 down. Scandicci, who haven't really played for a month due to their season ending. You can't do anything about that.
I mean, that's so unlucky. That's the nightmare of any middle blocker anywhere.
Again, the pass just isn't there. Franklin this time. And Antropova is being brought into the offense when the odds are really against Scandicci, and still finding something.
This is the moment we talked about it, that Antropova is going to start being relied on so heavily. I mean, that ball is so out of system. She's basically hitting from the center of the court, and yet still has to try and find something.
We've had a ridiculous evening of entertainment here in the CV Zeren Group Champions League Final 4. You couldn't have written the script for the first semi-final. You couldn't have dreamt it. But here we are in the second. And for Eczacibasi, they are not short of confidence right now.
It's going from good to better, but again, these tactical changes, again, Milia Dicken is in specifically to take care of that pass, to handle it. It's two good passers next to each other. That is why Eczacıbaşı are able to get her off the line again almost immediately.
The pass hasn't been there. Gaspari's made multiple changes. They need to find something. Whatever happens, it's going to be too little too late in this set. But you felt after that first set that Eczacıbaşı found some momentum, even though they were 4 or 5 down. That sort of transferred into the second set. They've then hopped on that momentum and they're flying.
100%.
That Rekhi will just gamble on that. Very casual from Yapkrek, but it's going to earn them another opportunity. Early platform out from the free ball, Stesiak. And this is where you have to be careful that you don't drop your focus.
Yeah, especially Stesiak. Again, we were talking about how good she's been all match long. Her efficiency is so high.
Oh, heads up.
That's a pretty lucky play there for Scandicci, but to get a free ball and not capitalize on it, that's a bad sign.
That's plucked from a low position.
Ooh.
From Akos. Moving wide, jumping left, hitting right. That's a shrewd swing.
Franklin now finding the edges. And right on cue, not surprised to see a timeout from Bregoli. He wants to just get his team back on track.
5-point ball game. Surely there's no chance for Scandicci.
Bregoli, also keep in mind, is an assistant coach with the national team, an Olympic gold medal winning national team. Like, if there's anyone who has some strategy up his sleeve, it's Bregoli.
Fast to the outside. And there's something to be said. He's really changed the outsides. We've had Yaprak, we've had Bowden, and we're in a position where they all bring something different to the table. Yaprak is quick with the feet, quick with the arm. Bowden's been high and off top of hands. There's lots of different pictures coming from that position for him. For a blocker and defense, it's changing regularly enough to be a problem. All good things come to an end. That was a good run from Scandicci. Bit difficult to get feet inside the ball there from Bozzetti. Set point. Eczacıbaşı to put them in control. They are in control of this second semi-final. Blaze out the back. Was there a touch? We might have a challenge either way. Gaspari says yes. Franklin, frankly, doesn't look too confident.
Well, you got to call this challenge, don't you, if you're Gaspari? It's use it or lose it, and at this point, you either allow Eczacıbaşı to just go into the next set, or you make him have a think about it. Nothing.
Nada.
Zip, zero, zilch. But Eczacıbaşı couldn't just celebrate and go into their timeout. They couldn't ride that momentum. They had to sit and wait for the decision, and by then, all the air is out of the tires.
Yeah, great point. All of a sudden, you can't celebrate if it goes to a challenge, but they can be patting each other and themselves on the back after a slow start. Let's be honest, it's been fairly comfortable in 2 or 3. It was 25-17 in set 3. As we have a look, there you go. No problem.
And 25-20, a complete flip-flop of scores. It looked as if Scandicci, and I think I remember saying this after the first set, they did not look pressed. They did not look stressed. They did not look like Eczacıbaşı had even made them sweat. And yet, here we are saying now it's 2-1 the other direction.
Well, serving targets, a lot goes to 5 in that seam at 6. A couple of balls to 1. Istanbul being Eczacıbaşı.
Yeah, not very much going to that right side, but again, that being the tactic. If you serve the left side of the court, you're 9 times out of 10 serving the left side attacker as well. And you're trying to get somebody out of the offense. That's what Eczacıbaşı have done really, really well.
Scandicci with their backs against the wall after a slow start here. And that's going to be a big thing for this team, is can they get Antropova back in running things. At the moment, there's a certain belief about this Eczacıbaşı side that we haven't seen for a few years. And my biggest thing coming into this was that I was potentially underestimating them for a moment. But then seeing that they've beaten Milano twice gives me confidence that they can always hang. 25-17 in the third. Scandicci now have it all to do.
It feels as if the entire weight of the Italian volleyball community is on Scandicci's shoulders right now, knowing that Conegliano just got kicked out of the final moments ago. If this set does not go Scandicci's way, it is an entire Turkish final tomorrow.
Which would make this city go crazy. That's what the people wanted.
The people that are here would love that. But the people watching at home, heartbreak.
Elif Şahin, big part of things here. She's had a very good game. And you think maybe this is something that's benefited from them. They are the team that has used the same first seven times out of 8. Building the connection in the group. And as you said, maybe they just haven't got the strength on the bench. Maybe it's the way that Brogoli sees it. But I think it helps going through those big moments consistently together. Building the connection in the team that really you can lean on when the going does get tougher. Karakut. A different Karakut now.
I mean, she went pretty quiet, though, in that last set. I was really impressed with her in set number 2. I'd love to see her step on the gas again. She's only up to 8 points.
But she has been served 27 times. That's 15 more than anybody else in this team. So she's having to do a lot of heavy lifting in the pass. And then she just gets one away from the shoulder.
I mean, that's a Karakut looking as confident as you will ever see. The thumb down. That is a nasty swing. Let him know, Karakut. Let him know.
She's a ticket, isn't she?
These kind of characters in volleyball, we need more of them.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 up. Good work from Jack Kissel. You feel that now is the time to strike for Scandicci. And the fast ball that you're talking about with Skinner really links with the tip nicely.
Yeah, and I feel like that's been one thing, again, that's a little bit missing on Scandicci's side, is getting Skinner involved in the offense. She's only had 8 kills from 20. She hasn't really hit her stride yet in that position.
Yeah, and she's playing against a world-class side here. Karakut again, wrist away, hitting 10 o'clock on the ball, getting the hand off body swing.
She's loving that. She is loving it. And why not when there's a seam open like that?
Well, the thing is, every time that they've started to pinch in the block, she's managed to go back to the line as well. So super rangy performance from Karakut.
And that'll be something Brogoli is training with the team, is working on specific shots, not just going up and swinging blindly. It's like, do you have cross available? Do you have line? He'll put up a big block in front of you, a big square of hands or wood, and make you hit around it.
Maybe the most impressive thing was that pass from Karakut. Outside shoulder was the target. She got the ball in. Jack Kissel then puts the ball away. And as we're putting a lot of positivity on the name of Karakut, we can't miss out on how well she's passing.
I don't know that we've seen Karakut's best serve yet tonight. An ace here would be an absolute treat for her confidence.
That's a fast one. It's a great pass. Ooh. It's a fantastic pass from Bozzetti. Key Michael's having hot flashes.
I am. I mean, come on, Vital. Look at this angle. And she knows that Jackie Sala is going to commit on her a couple of times now, so she's gone perfectly away from her.
Again, Bozzetti's pass
allows
making Ognjenovic to take that ball on full jump.
This is huge. Antropova in the net on her serve. She doesn't even have to have Eczacıbaşı get her off the line. She gets herself off.
And at some point we have to turn around this evening and say that Antropova hasn't got her serve going. In the first set we saw it, but for Scandicci to be successful throughout the entirety of an evening, it needs to cook. And the only thing cooking at the moment is a team in orange. They'll look for a touch here. Ognjenovic puts her hand up and then says no.
I think it was Antropova in the backcourt.
She withdrew her hands, Ognjenovic.
Was it? Oh no, Antropova saying no, it wasn't me.
Ognjenovic understanding that Yaprak has gone off the hands a lot this evening, deciding to go up and then withdraw. Again, they've had lots of different looks offensively at Eczacıbaşı, and I have to give, as you said earlier, a lot of plaudits to Brogoli in how he's made the right changes at the right time.
Yeah. Using those puzzle pieces, playing a bit of chess with his opponents. So we do have a challenge happening. My question is whether it's for touch at the net or touch in the backcourt.
There was no touch from Ognjenovic.
Well, Scandicci look like they're setting up for serve.
Keep expecting to see somebody on a string coming down from the ceiling.
This one's taking a little longer than usual. It must not be that easy to call. It seemed much more clear-cut, I think, to us. In real time, I didn't think I saw a touch. It's so long ago now, I can't even remember.
Yeah, sorry?
Yeah, exactly. What were we talking about? Where are we? I'm still reeling from that first game. Yeah, my brain's a little mushy. The players aren't used to having such a long time out either.
Yeah, this might just be the reset that Scandicci need. So although it's Eczacıbaşı pushing for the decision, Scandicci might just be able to reset, and the ball is given out. Yaprak not going to be the happiest out there, I think. Surely we can't have two matches that go to 5 sets, absolute humdingers.
Surely we can.
Yes, we can.
And don't call me Shirley.
That's the British side of you coming in. Surely there's nobody called Shirley in the US. Errors are coming.
Well, if we do go to 5, I'm going to think back on this moment because you called it, right? The momentum shift from a long break like that could be exactly what Scandicci needed.
Just feel like Stysiak didn't really stay aggressive in that with her intentions. Pass has gone. Oh no. No need to hit the panic button yet. But Gaspari will be feeling this change as well. I think the whole arena, for the first time, Bozzetti, it's always difficult, that 5-to-5 serve that you have to cut off so early with the arms. You can't let it get on you. From the right side, Antropova, Scandicci are the next, through Antropova, are back on the front foot. Castillo gives it height. Antropova gives it height as well. Bozzetti, a couple of good serves in a row. Outside hitter, the Olympic Games in Paris. And this is the sort of experience. Bozzetti and Antropova, they go to the middle. Wetzel's there. Back to Karakurt. She's blocked this time. And this is a key run Ognjenovic pinches in and makes one.
Am I wrong, or was it 4-4 when that challenge was called? It's now 4-8. A huge run on Scandicci's side.
Yep, the crystal ball was out. Future was predicted. Oh. Naughty from Elif Şahin. Second time we've seen it.
Different style, though, that one. You saw her go with one hand this time. And again, however you can, if you're a setter, if you can catch your blockers off. Vital even knew it, too. She made the move, but couldn't stop it.
Yeah, the ball was turned on too much of an angle away from the block, and Antropova is back in the game, and that's exactly what this team needed. Get the ball high. She's not trying to do anything crazy.
I'm sensing a little bit of belief again on Scandicci's side.
It's a crazy thing, that, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of points can make all the difference. Volleyball is such a fun sport that way.
Yeah, almost. We're doomed. No, we're not. We're back alive. And into the angle. And the body language. Skinner pinches in. The body language now from Eczacıbaşı. It's a different team.
We haven't seen a block like this all match long, let alone on Stysiak. She's been so good at avoiding those hands.
Feel like the legs and the arms just slow down slightly. Dig at 6. Bazzetti, formerly of Navarra as well. Back onto the right side, Stysiak. They need to get her hot again.
And the trick with Stysiak is you have to give her enough space from the net. She's not one of those players that's going to go up and try and hit high for the hand, so you have to give her enough space that she can make the decision where she wants to swing and can see everything in front of her.
Would you agree that that ball just felt a little bit wider, enable for her to do that as well? Or do you think it's purely on height?
Width and also space from the net. If you cramp her inside and tight, that's when she's going to get in trouble.
Ognjenovic. Scandicci up by 5. She would love to play against old teammate, national team buddy for a long time in Tijana Boskovic tomorrow, but Scandicci have got a lot of work to do here. It's positive for them in set 4, but falling away, Antropova, my word.
First one off the hands, and that's a huge pickup defensively from Eczacıbaşı. But an out-of-system set, and sneaking it underneath Dana Retke, of all players, who has the height and that inside arm.
Felt like the block was perfectly aligned the first time. It was just too high. And there's a challenge.
It looked like Stysiak was asking for net touch.
Do you think this is just maybe a chance to slow things down again?
Well, it worked the other time.
It certainly did. It really has been. You talk about a side like Amoko holding their level for long periods. Hasn't quite been that. But both teams have enough weapons to certainly bother Vekifbank, whoever makes it through tomorrow. Momentum has been huge this evening in both games. Net touch is what they're after. Not one official is leaving anything to chance here this evening. Rightfully so. The stakes don't get much higher than this. Ognjenovic knows.
No net touch.
Well, there's a few question marks here. Hang on a moment. Gloves might be off here. And this is maybe We talked about Bragoli wanting Karakut to fire up. He might not want Karakut to fire up in this way. All that good work from Eczacıbaşı. He's leading with calmness, like you said, that would go a long way. We are in the heat of the battle. They want the net touch.
So I think the call was that the jersey might have been in the net, but that's not a net touch. If your jersey or your hair is in it, it's fine. Has to be the body itself.
He's doing the Lessus. Amazing that the whole arena can hear, but I don't think they're listening.
They have no interest in whatever the referee's trying to tell them.
If you're in Turkey and you go against Eczacıbaşı, they will turn on you. And then they will fire up. You love this key. In the eyes.
She gave a little look to the referee after. She is fiery. This is one of my favorite players to watch, and this is the exact reason that she got set in this instance, because that was either going to be the best or the worst thing she had done all night.
Yeah, now she'll be fired up. Maybe it's what they need to get back in this game. Oh my word, this game just turns. Stesiak with the dive. Skinner stopped. Now SCANDICCI are under pressure.
That's a huge block from Stesiak. Massive momentum and a stare down as well.
Feel that Skinner there hasn't really got a lot of line, and she has to go after 6. Coming in quite square. Pass is in. Skinner again. Goes wider this time. That's been answered. Karakut, chest dig cover. Antropova.
That's what you're going to get from Karakut when she's fired. She tries to do a lot, and sometimes she'll play out of her skin, but sometimes it's just a really simple putting your hands in front of her and just let her hit into him.
Yep, front her up. Did a good job there, Antropova. Franklin comes in to serve. Came in with good effect in the previous set. They're serving up against Stesiak. Now Stesiak, we're seeing more aggression and intention in those 2 steps and the arm again.
So this is a double sub we have not seen. First time Anna Smrek coming into the match, and again, this double sub purposely is to try and get her in the front court to just shore up that block a little bit.
Yeah, well, Smrek, we saw her last year for Milano off the bench for a Gonu. And the first thing is she has to try and help with the middle.
The frustration of Bragoli, that's exactly the play he put Smrek in for. He wants her helping out in the middle, using her height. But that's a really good play by SCANDICCI to get that ball fast.
Big game of chess is back on. Noakalor. And Karakut again is getting served so much ball. Noakalor with an outrageously good touch to the outside. The outside shoulder's really high and solid. Off the hands again. Smrek playing defense. Bump set from Shahin. Tip to get Antropova out. This is a massive point, and Antropova goes deep.
Big opportunity there for Smrek to have a big swing, show us what she's made of. Instead, she goes for the tip, and she's trying to get Antropova out, but they've played this game before. SCANDICCI, every time they play anyone, they know that's everyone's goal, is to tip on her and make her play. They're used to running that fast offense.
Karakut still under the lion's share of pressure in the pass. Overhand pass through the middle they come. That was strong with the first touch. Karakut stays high. Ognjenovic plays defense. That's tight for Antropova. Eczacıbaşı need one. Welcome to the game, Anna Schmreck. Former Wisconsin as well, with Retke and Franklin. She's made her mark on this Final Four.
And she had to take this swing. After doing that set last time, this was the moment to go for it. Have the confidence, and it's a big ask, right, for a young player straight out of college, only half a season, I think, last year at Milano, to be in this high-pressure situation. But this is where you learn, trial by fire.
Bowden's come on for 3 rotations on the front for Yaprak. So another different look for the Scandicci defense. Might be her first ball here as they're scurrying. Dig from Castillo, and the placement is unbelievable. Witsel with a stable set that just gives Bozzetti a chance, and that's all she needed.
And Bozzetti knew what she was doing there. Tooling off of Schmreck's outside hand. She's recognizing she's got a young player in front of her that hasn't had a lot of playing time at this level.
Absolutely. Smart decisions at key times. Ball's off the net from Bowden. It's going to go back to Schmreck as it's a bit of a different looking 7 at the moment with Bowden and with Schmreck. Didn't start the season with much court time, but she's growing into it. Sinead Jack Kissel. Over on 2, seen from Retke. Over the top, but oh, hang on a minute, bundle. Schmeck's everywhere though, defensively, 100% effort. Hold on a minute.
What's happened here? I thought the call was for reaching over for Witsel, but it was revoked.
I would love to see that. Okay. And the decision's been reversed. And here come the crowd.
So the defense is there.
It was I don't think that was hand over. Retke does.
It's hard to tell because she went with a flat hand because she knows she'll get called if she goes fingertips over. So she goes with a flat hand, but did she catch the ball over the net is the question. Did she go into the other playing field?
And she got the hand back quickly.
Yeah.
Which you would do. The Lassus is out. Uh-oh. Crowd don't like it. It's almost like Eczacıbaşı win point, everyone cheers. If they don't, everyone boos and hisses. Bowden has just been very calculated and experienced it.
Yeah, and she's been brought in some clutch moments. The delivery, again, with backs against the wall for Eczacıbaşı, she was needed just to get a couple of points here and there. Clever swings. That's what she's been delivering.
You can see why Delay Özdemir's seen in such highlight. She comes off the bench and you don't even realize there's been a change of setter because everything's on the money. She's only young. Antropova. I think there's still room here.
A sliver of hope.
A slither of hope. Half a chance.
Well, keep in mind, Eczacıbaşı still have the chance to go to a 5th. This is not do or die, but for Scandicci it is. This set has to go their way.
And the pass is gone from Bozzetti. Big test of Franklin. She's been dug. Bowden from downtown. Clutch. Once again out of system. Castillo plays inside, blocks in, and all of a sudden, Eczacıbaşı are maybe using things going against them to turn the steering wheel and this game back into their direction. There's experience of big games. Jack Kissel, Yaprak Erkek, Karakurt, Şahin, all part of the World Championship loss to Italy 3-2. Karakurt and Şahin, the only two that played in that World Championship final loss to Italy. It's an Italy side that includes Antropova, a big part of the future of Italian volleyball, and the future of German volleyball is back in business.
I've been loving every single time Ognjenovic chooses to use Vital. It's the speed that's so impressive. Her arm is up, the ball's just shot into her wheelhouse, and immediately she's using the whip.
Long set this time. And once more, every single time this evening, he's brought Bowden on. She's made a difference on that front court. Nothing's been steep. Nothing's been sharp, everything's been high. Miss serve just gives Scandicci that little bit of respite. Passes on the money. Retke's in the offense. We haven't seen so much of Dana Retke this evening offensively, but when she has been called in, she's done a great job.
And especially when that ball is tight on the net and moving forward. That's been an area where I've been really impressed with both setters using their middles when they're moving forward and catching the blockers on the other side off guard.
Passing again, Franklin off the head, there's a touch. That's miraculous work in the cover from Bazzetti. But just like we've seen, slowly bringing their way back. Scandicci are under more pressure now here. Retke, they need a good pass. It is a good platform to the middle. Nawakalo. And Key Michael loves it.
What's not to love? And I just wonder if both teams have taken a little pressure off the serve, because a few times in a row now we've had perfect ball on the head of the setter.
There's been a lot of heading. There's been a lot of ball to heads this evening. Passes back on the money. Stysiak back in. Bowden playing at 6. And again, high, accurate, smooth swings.
The gap has drastically changed from a few moments ago. And again, Bowden, I mean, she's handling things in the reception. You talk about being a clear-headed player. She's an Olympic silver medalist. She's a Champions League gold medalist already. Perfect substitution.
The experience defensively. Now, it's been a tough season for Bowden, not many starts, but this is exactly why she's here in these moments. She doesn't get the rub this time, but it's great positioning. Key, this game has been so different to the first one.
I know.
But it's still just as intriguing. Who's your money on here?
Scandicci for this set, probably?
I think that's still, oh, this is huge.
Hang on.
Eczacıbaşı.
Karakurt down the line. She's shown us such volleyball tonight. The highest of levels. We've seen her go extreme thumb down, and then as soon as the block takes that away, cut it over the shoulder, but not an over rotation, just the shoulder.
I think Eczacıbaşı are a short hit. This is a huge side out. The pass isn't quite there. Jack Kissel can't convert. That had to go to a sideline or deep. Is the cover there? Yes, it is. They have to find a high swing. Bowden, smart off the hands! Nobody's there! Stesiak again gets out to hit. We've seen that before. And at some point, those small things.
You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to watch this back though, because I think that the setter set the ball over and doubled it, and I think that's what's being discussed right now at the net. You're allowed to double the ball, but not when it crosses over the plane of the net, and Ognjenovic put the ball over. She had to on the second ball.
Does that mean we're going to see another lasso?
She was also backcourt. She was backcourt and played the ball in front of the 3-meter line over the net.
Which
should be Eczacıbaşı's point.
Which I completely agree with. But at what point? Look, that's a worried face as well from Ognjenovic. And now have a look.
They're a little frustrated, as you can imagine, because that feels like it should have been Eczacıbaşı's point.
Getting it. Stesiak's giving it. Timeout taken, and I think now we're going to 5. Brogoli, though, I think has to be incredibly proud of how his team have rallied around and battled in this fourth, because that's not just 1 or 2 decisions, it's probably more like 3. And they were 5 down, 6 down? Biggest rotation. Antropova. Ace Antropova! And just like we've seen time and time again, Antropova rips an ace.
Chef's kiss, Antropova. What a time to do it as well. Seam between 2 players when there's still discussion of the last point.
Antropova again. In the block, there's 2. Jack Kissel fighting. And the one thing we're seeing with Eczacıbaşı here is that they're fighting for every ball. Again, Bowden just keeps going for hands, works into the angle. Castillo can't be there. And I just think this side have got real character.
They're going to have to. This is the kind of match where if you back down because a couple of things didn't go your way, a couple of calls you think were yours, that's not what people will remember. They will remember who is in the gold medal match, so every single point is a fresh chance to try and get there.
There's still a chance because Antropova's off of the service line, but she's not out of the offense. She is stopped though. This has to go down. Goes down, it's a 2-point ball game. Cover, scooped up, unhappy. Coach Kaspari wanted a lift, didn't get the lift. And that is maybe dragged wide from Bowden. And now it's Scandicci's turn to be frustrated.
Yeah, the over-rotation by Bowden. She wanted that badly. But credit to Scandicci for not losing their nerve, not getting distracted by wanting that call that you said. They wanted that lift. They wanted maybe a double. It rolled up in the defense, but they didn't worry about it. They just kept playing on.
Ognjenovic leaves us. Maybe time for a quick break before we go to a 5th. What an evening. Completely different game. Every set's been to 20.
Yeah.
Here, it's been fairly comfortable sets, but there is a chance here. Scandicci, it's a good read. And it's a perfect play, second time Şahin.
Well, I'll say the same thing that I said in the first set. Even if this doesn't go Eczacibashi's way, what they've done well is they're going to get a couple of points of momentum here. That's what carried them over into the second set and then the third set. They can maybe do that again into the fifth.
After a slow start, they have been fantastic in this set. Antropova to take it to 5, though. That's got to be brought back. That's phenomenal from Bowden. Almost just chops it back, cuts it back. A swing for the set here. No. The side from Istanbul just battle away. But this rally's another humdinger. Skinner stopped. The rally continues. Skinner's underneath the ball, but puts it away, the American, and sends us to 5.
The legs are done right now for both these two teams. The rally's extending like this. I mean, good on Skinner for continuing to just stomp her feet and get something going here, because that looked like, I mean, I was out of breath just watching.
We're all out of breath after an evening that you just could not have scripted. It's an evening that has given us everything we wanted and a little bit more.
I mean, look at these stats. 5 aces for both teams. Is that in one set, or is that across the 4 sets?
That's against the board, I think. Across the board, sorry. It's too close to call here. Passing accuracy. Green and blue is where you want it. White is where you start, as Keith said earlier on, to lose options. The middle probably being the first one.
Scandicci have done well to take that set despite this passing. In that set 4 passing accuracy, meaning 30% of their balls are in the outside of that ring. If you can win while passing like that, you're in a good spot.
Both teams have shown that they have guts in a race to 15. Those 2 wins against Milano after losing to Olympiacos certainly will give this Eczacıbaşı side a lot of confidence. But Scandicci have brought themselves through the golden set twice. I can't call this one.
Against Melissa Vargas, no less.
Against Vargas. Milano losing twice 15-13. We know how strong they are. All those smaller moments add up over a season. Will it be an all-Turkey final here in Istanbul tomorrow with an Italian showdown for bronze? Or have Scandicci just got themselves back into the driver's seat of this tie? It's a good game though.
I mean, there's so many things that could go well for either team in this last set. For me, Scandicci have to get Antropova firing. She is make or break for this team. The sets that they've won are the sets that she has played well. And right now, she's sitting at 24 points. She's the top scorer of the entire match. And the same thing on the other side. I like the balance from Eczacıbaşı. When we saw them playing the best was when Karakurt was firing, when Stysiak was going, when their middles were getting a little bit going. So I hate to say that Scandicci is a one-sided team, but when Antropova's going, it's good. For the other side, when they're balanced, it's good.
I could not agree more. 3 times already this season, Antropova's been over 30 points. Stysiak, 60%. I think that's a season best for Stysiak in the CV Champions League. She's had some very good games, but she was at 57% okay away, 53% against Rezov. This is the best game from an efficiency perspective that Stysiak's had. She stepped up when her team need her, but I can't call this in the slightest. Antropova, no surprise, starts at position 4, I think.
Yeah, you want to have her in front court as long as possible.
Well, you almost get 4 rotations off of her because her serve is such a threat as well. 3 on the front, then you go back to serve, and the game can race away from the opposition.
Yeah, Ognjanovic will use her anywhere. She's using her backcourt as well.
Brigoli. I thought he'd seen it all.
Oh my goodness, the emotional roller coaster these coaches are under.
Gaspari, he's been animated as well. Set 5 for a second time in this CEV Zeren Group Champions League Final 4. And Antropova strikes again.
She strikes fast, she strikes early. And I'm surprised that Redke wasn't already camping on her. Anyone in the gym would say she's getting the majority of the balls this set.
Look after the right side for as long as you can. That's good fronting up from the Wakalor. Stays in front of Redke the whole time. It's going back to the middle. Skinner's there. Scandicci have upped their game. Right side. Castillo's beaten.
I have to point out here, Stysiak with the patience on that first ball. She didn't have a ball to swing at. She went with the push into the hands and recycled on her side and then gets a better opportunity. That patience is what Scandicci, or excuse me, what Eczacıbaşı have to have all set long.
Skinner seeing the early stages of the serve. She was the best server, or best in reception in the past set. It was Bazzetti that got a lot of the balls, not quite statistically as strong on the knees, and solid though from Skinner.
The other thing I want to see more of is middle. Both sides, when they're feeling comfortable and they're flying, that middle's going.
No Akalor. Karakut not served. She has been served more than anybody else out there, and that's probably going to be one question. She is fired up. Stysiak scores, but can Karakut keep the pass solid under the heater?
She's been excellent tonight in that regard. I don't think she's faltered at all.
Stats for a lot of balls pretty good from Karakut. They go back to Bazzetti, who has the front court receiver, trying to get her out of rhythm. And the more that she's stressed, it might make it more difficult to get the ball to Antropova. That's not the case though.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are all 3 points scored by Antropova right now on Scandicci's side?
But we saw this against Fenerbahce in the golden set game too. Ball by the horns. Oh! The biggest point, I think, of this set so far.
Yeah, getting herself off the line. That could have been a couple of points in the pocket for Scandicci. A little cushion here goes a long way in the 5th set.
Now there's 3 rotations on the back for Antropova. Pass is good. They go to the outside, and that's spatched. And it's an error from Bazzetti. We might see Franklin used again at some point. We saw her against Navarra in the golden set, absolutely superb. They're going to be stuck on this rotation. Yapcrack with a brilliant. See there, and Antropova stopped by Karakut.
That is huge. Not only a big block, first of all, the defensive effort to keep it in play, and it's a free ball Scandicci. 2 blockers up because they know where it's going. They've not only shut down Antropova, but they now have a 2-point cushion.
They have a backbone, this team. Said it before, but we're relearning it every single set. And they show it again. It's another block from Karakut on Antropova. The fans are back on their feet.
Back-to-back blocks on lead with 2 back-to-back blocks for Eczacıbaşı. That is enormous.
Forcing Antropova on the backcourt potentially, knowing that a lot of their chances come through the right side probably. Scrappy one, but one that Scandicci needed. They need to get Antropova back on the front court now, desperately.
A little overconfident to take a swing there. Jackie Sal, she should know that her setter is front court and is going to try and block that.
Karakut's on the front, Stysiak's on the back. It's a little bit tight, good stability though, and that means Karakut can go off hands. Shahin take a bow.
1-on-1 to the outside. It's only Ognjenovic in the block. That is elite from Karakut.
Simgaya Koz putting in a huge shift this evening as libero as well. Castillo doing exactly the same, trying to free Skinner up there. They go to Antropova, but you have to give 100% for effort here for Castillo. Tries to take Skinner out because that's the only credible front court option. Edsel. Robust in the pass again. Eczacıbaşı. The big gamers are standing up to the pressure. And I think we've got an all-Turkey final coming our way.
If Eczacıbaşı continue with this fire, and again, we talk about Karakurt because she could be so high and so low. If she rides it to the heights, it's done.
Passes on the money from Bazzetti. No! Skinner again comes in square, looks to go to 6. Stysiak's there, and that is a 3rd block in this set.
Those hands from Stysiak, her shoulders did not even move. That's what you want to see from an elite blocker. Your hands are straight over and you just become a wall to hit at.
And the pass has got it as well. It's a 5-point match. Shahin is celebrating with Stysiak like they're already in the finals. Skinner is off.
You've got to respect that serve. Hitting Skinner on the left side, forcing her to go chasing it. To serve like that in a 5th set, so much guts.
Guts for glory. And you have to say, Eczacıbaşı have had a lot of guts this evening. Gutsy would be a very good word to describe this performance. Scandicci have done the impossible a couple of times already against Novara and against Fenerbahce. But this just seems to be a big mountain to climb. Franklin off the bench, tries to slide the sharp angle and misses. It looks like it won't be a 3rd straight final for Gaspari. Bragoli looks like he's going to his first CV Champions League final. And for a side that have lost 5 of their 6 semi-finals that were played in one-leg format, they are doing a fine job of getting over the line here. Free ball this time to the outside. And I think that one is off the hands. Hang on. It's another one that surprises us all. Gaspari. Toys are going out of the pram here. Luckily, the challenge system is a thing.
I mean, you can understand the frustration. There have been a few calls that have really just taken the wind out of the sails of one side or another. I mean, it's not just one side that suffered it, but in a 5th set like this, where everything is on the line, you just can't afford to have any question marks.
Could this be the decision that changes the game back into the favor of Scandicci?
Yeah, not even close to a block touch. Huge gap in the block, if anything.
Not in the same postcode. 4-point game, 4-point difference. Antropova's lurking to serve before the end of this game. And it might just set it up beautifully for the Champions League best server. But first of all, serve goes to Karakut, high from Stesiak, and her efficiency's been high this evening.
I've been so impressed with how Stesiak has kept her nerve. She hasn't really ridden those emotional roller coasters that some of her other teammates have. She has just come in to do a job, and she's been clinical with it every time.
She did absolutely lose her rag in the last set, but that didn't show in her performance, I agree. Okay, Antropova. Noakalor back to serve. Where's Antropova in the rotation? They need to make a couple back. The scene's open for business. Noakalor. Eczacıbaşı need 3. A side out would be unreal. And Jack Kissel once again on time, every time.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of middle offense. But look at the eyes of Karakurt. She is dialed in. That is a perfect pass. And again, we talked about that maybe being a weak zone for Karakurt. Early on in the match, it felt like it was a little bit. But now she is mentally on it, making sure she's getting that ball so her middle can be involved.
Dili Özdemir's back in to serve. And again, it just shows the trust from Bragoli in the 20-year-old. 2 away now. Surely it's signed, sealed, delivered. And we're going to have a historic final in Istanbul tomorrow between 2 of Turkey's premier sides. She's had a wonderful evening, Catherine Bowden.
She absolutely nails the cross. First of all, the defense of Karakurt, and then a fastball to the outside. That is impressive.
They've been impressive. They've had to be resilient. They've had to hold on at times. Castillo put on the floor. Antropova! We will have an all-Turkish final in Istanbul tomorrow. Eczacıbaşı make it through in 5. As we have another problem here. We're not having much luck this evening.
Hopefully everyone's all right on Eczacıbaşı's side, but they can be so proud of the way they have played. This block defense was so elite for Eczacıbaşı, and they're moving on.
They were questioned throughout in so many different ways. They make their way back to the final. The first time since 23, it'll be a repeat of that final against Vakifbank. A wonderful, wonderful evening of volleyball. Scandicci are heartbroken, just like they were last year with that loss to Amoko. They don't make the final this year. It'll be a repeat of the final for bronze tomorrow. What a job from Giulio Bragoli. It's another European final for him. 4 seasons in a row after 3 with Chieri. There is the confirmation of the scores. 15-8 in the 5th. 3-2. More blocks from Scandicci. More spikes from Eczacıbaşı. And you have to say, Karakurt, Stesiak, Jack Kissel, all showing the character needed to go through to a gold medal game in the CV Champions League. It was 3-1 to Vakif Bank in 2023. That was in Torino. Özbay will be back. Gunesh of Bogu. And for Eczacıbaşı, the likes of Şahin, Yaprak, Jack Kissel, Simge Akoz will all have a chance for revenge against Vakif Bank. It is a wonderful day to be in Turkey. It's a wonderful day, but that could be problematic. The Elif Şahin going over on her ankle while celebrating, and that could mean it's a big day for Melih Dikan.